Hello students. So from today we shall start with a new chapter in your syllabus, and that is Where There Is a Wheel by P. Sainath. So as soon as you hear the title, okay, the name of the chapter, what do you remember? Okay, so where there is a wheel. So here the title reminds us of a proverb. So I think you all know the proverb that where there is a will, there is a way. Okay, so you have all heard the title. I mean title in this way. Okay, so where there is a wheel, so what does it signifies? So where there is a wheel is where when you have a wheel you have to make a way, make your own way and start growing, okay, and start going forward. So here the chapter signifies that you have a wheel. When you have a wheel, you go forward. You have to build your own way and move forward, okay. So we shall see how this chapter portrays this idea of moving forward or developing or different things, okay. So we shall see how this shows. Okay, so this is the information given about the author in your textbook, Palagummi Sainath. Okay, so his full name is Palagummi Sainath, is an Indian journalist. Journalists are news editors, okay, news collectors and editors, okay. So one who is in charge of the newspapers, okay, and they collect information from different sources, different events, facts, okay. So journalist is the one who collects information and edits the newspaper and puts the news in the newspaper format, okay. So and photojournalist focusing on social problems, rural affairs, poverty and aftermaths of globalization in India. So this person Sainath, he focuses on social problems, economic problems in our society, and the poverty, the main problem in our society, okay, and aftermath of globalization in India. So globalization, industrialization, okay. So he writes about the problems that we face in our society, okay, and he is the rural affairs editor of the Hindu, okay. So he is the editor of Hindu and a regular contributor to the Telegraph in Kolkata. He also writes for the Fortnightly, Frontline and the Daily Business Line in Chennai. This essay is taken from his book Everybody Loves a Good Drought, okay. So he is an editor, he is a newspaper writer, and he is very famous, and he is editor of Hindu, the Hindu newspaper, and he also writes for Fortnightly, Frontline and Daily Business in Chennai. And this essay, particularly where there is a wheel, this essay is taken from Everybody Loves a Good Drought, okay. So yeah. Okay, so this title, Where There Is a Wheel by P. Sainath, I already told you, it reminds us of a proverb that where there is a will, there is a way. So where there is a wheel and you have a wheel, you have to make your own way and grow forward in the way, okay. So it talks about motivating this particular chapter, okay. It talks about motivating the women from the rural background, from the remote villages of Tamil Nadu, to become more and more independent. So this chapter talks about motivating the people from the rural background, from the villages, okay. So where from the remote villages is where it is far away, okay, it is far away and it is very backward, and lot of illiterate peoples live in the village, okay. So specifically it talks about the remote villages of Tamil Nadu, okay. And here the chapter shows how the motivation of women is done, and uh, it makes a way, okay, it gives a way for a woman to become independent, okay. Independent is where you are not scared, or you are brave enough to come out of the backwardness and stand on your foot and you become independent. Okay, so P Sainath, known as an Indian journalist, and he is the editor, he is the article editor, writer, and a freelance writer for many newspapers. Okay, so as I already told you, he is very famous for editing, and he's a journalist who collects information, and he writes. He's a freelance writer. Freelance writer is a very very neat and discipline and free words. Okay, so fluency writer in of many newspapers, and is involved in motivating the people, especially the villagers, to learn to be independent. He is one among the people who motivates the people, the villagers and the women, to learn to be independent. Okay, and he uses in this chapter particularly, he uses the two drives that motivates women or the people or the villagers is literacy drive. Okay, literacy drive is where you become literate by educating. Okay, educating some people, and by education you become literate. And the second one is cycling movement. Okay, cycling movement where they teach you, the cycling becomes the movement, and through the cycling you become, like, it is a way that you see the freedom. Okay, so through cycling the woman seek freedom. Okay, so these are the two drives that motivates the woman and the villagers. Okay, so literacy drive, by being educated you can motivate others, and the cycling movement can motivate others. Okay, so here you can see how the cycling becomes a movement. Okay, so Pudukottai in Tamil Nadu, cycling as a social movement sounds far-fetched perhaps, but not all that far, not to tens of thousands of new literate rural women in Pudukottai district. People find ways, sometimes curious ones, of hitting out their backwardness, of expressing defiance, of hammering at the fetters that hold them. So here, this bit of information talks about how the women's are still backward. Okay, first of all, the remote rural places are backward in Tamil Nadu, and especially women are still even more backward, and they are always dependent on the other members. Okay, so and one or the other reason will be there for them to make them stay backward. Okay, so but here this lesson makes women's cross all those borders and tries a different movement, cycling movement, and they use cycling to be as a way or a wheel which shows the way to reach or to become freedom, to have their freedom. Okay, so we shall see. Okay, so now let's talk about how the cycling movement in Pudukottai started. Okay, so Pudukottai is a very small village, rural village. It is the poorest district. Okay, and all the people who are there are either farmers, daily wage workers. Okay, so who are not rich, who don't have money in their accounts, and who don't have lot of money. Okay, but they work and they don't depend on the monthly salary. Okay, but these people are farmers, these people are daily wage workers who wait for everyday salary. Okay, daily wage. So here, neo-literate women, they are called as new literates women. Neo is new literate women, they picked up cycling. Okay, people, I mean, here in this village, the young girls, okay, young girls, they started to learn, they started becoming literate. Okay, so they are called as new literate women. They picked up cycling and took part in exhibition come contest about cycling. So exhibition is where they started, this new literate women, they picked up cycling and they conducted an exhibition where they shared their ideas how cycling helps them, and how they can move to the places very fast, they can save time, and yeah, they don't have to walk a long route to reach their places, colleges, schools. Okay, and it also was a contest cycling competition. Okay, and it was about cycling, how cycling helps an individual, how it saves time. Okay, so there were training camps for the non-literates, and for the other peoples, the farmers, the illiterates, the poor. Okay, for them there was a training camps where they could learn cycling. Okay, and neo-literate women motivated others to learn cycling. Okay, so these neo-literate women, they motivated others that they were agricultural workers. Since I already told you, Pudukottai was a rural village, remote rural village, and they were all farmers. Okay, so these neo-literate women motivated others to learn cycling, and they also motivated agricultural workers, quarry laborers. Okay, so quarry is where they break the stones. Okay, so the quarry. Okay, so the quarry workers, the village health nurses, it is not just they motivated the illiterate, even they motivated the literates who were scared of coming out of the cocoon, coming out of the restricted boundary. Okay, and they motivated the village health nurses, balwadi and anganwadi workers. Balwadi is for the infants, I mean very small kids, and anganwadi is where it is more of like a daycare or a play home where they teach you knowledge, and they teach you, I mean they take care of you, they feed you. Okay, so this is how similarly, so these non-literate women, they even taught cycling for balwadi and anganwadi workers and school teachers. Even the school teachers, jump cutters, gram sevikas, midday meal workers. Okay, so these were all the people who came forward to learn cycling because they wanted to have freedom. Okay, and the story highlights how there is a huge revolution that was very easily happens in Pudukottai, a small district in Tamil Nadu. So here the revolution was cycling. The change was choosing cycling. Okay, as a mode for freedom. So this happened very easily, and it was in a small district in Tamil Nadu, that is Pudukottai. So it is very rare and unique opportunity when women, especially not very literate, become the cause of change. So here there was a revolution, there was a change, and all the village health nurses, teachers, Anganwadi and Balwadi teachers, everyone. Okay, so all came forward to take up a change, and there was a revolution, and all were they came forward to learn cycling. Okay, so Pudukottai women started learning bicycling as a means of freedom. So this cycling was a means of or a mode of freedom for the women in rural village called Pudukottai. Okay, so we shall see how this motivates everyone, and they get freedom. Okay, so and how they come out of their backwardness. So we shall stop here and we shall continue in the next class.